I'm Jennifer with Porcelynne, and this is my daughter Emily. And she wanted to be in this little bit of video, but she's actually going to help me switch back and forth with the cameras.
And my stuffed animal is Heart.
Oh, okay. Yes, she just got this. Today's Valentine's Day. You guys are going to see this a little bit later than Valentine's Day, but she got this for Valentine's Day. I decided to get her something like this so it's a little bit softer, so when she leans on me to cuddle like this, it's softer than the pillows that we have. Okay. What we're going to cover today is my band elastics, my stretch trims, and laces. I'm going to do a separate video on my strap elastics and the different strapping that I have. I got a lot of feedback that said people really liked what I did for the fabric, so I thought I'd kind of explore a little bit more about what materials are out there to use for your different projects. You also may have noticed that I got a new intro and exit on my videos. The music is courtesy of my friend Var Veri. He's a very talented musician, and he offered up his music to use for the videos. So there's more information about him at the very bottom of the description. So scroll down and show him a little bit of love, subscribe to his YouTube channel, and let him know that you like what he does. Okay, let's go and switch. Remember how to do it? There we go. Okay, so as you can see, we have a wide variety of stretch trims. So up here I have my band elastics. In this area, then we have some stretch laces. So starting from left and going across, I'm just going to kind of explain what they are, and then we can go and we can start testing the stretch on them. So these ones that I have over here, I have black and white. It's a little bit easier to see the white in film and in pictures. As you can see, this is a really stretchy fabric. This is my 35mm plush elastic. It is plush on both sides and is really soft. And I like to use this on my sports bras for around the band. And also you can use this for bralettes as well that need a wider band but is really soft and plush. You don't want anything that's going to be too tight underneath the rib cage when you're working out. So I know it's off camera. Okay, here are two of my band elastics. So you can see these ones are fairly stretchy also. It has plush on the back side and it has some shine to the front side. And I have this size in the cream and in the white. Okay, a similar one. This is one of the new ones I just got from Fredericks of Hollywood.
And it's a bigger one.
It is much bigger. It's I think 1 7/8 inches, just under 2 inches maybe. So it's firmer. This is really good if you want to kind of use it. I need a big waistband with a little bit more support. So brushed on the back side. And you can see there's, I don't know if you can see in the light, there's some little decorative kind of a little V stitching on here. And then just the little scalloped edge. This here, these two are my, these are my band elastics that are 1/2 inch or 12mm. As you can see, they're actually plush on both sides. So you can play around with which side you're going to be sewing it to. And also the beauty about this is if you sew it on the wrong side, it doesn't matter because they're identical on both sides. So you can see this is a nice firm stretch. This one I think is a little bit firmer than this, but we'll cover some of that stretch in just a moment. This one here, this is actually one from Fredericks of Hollywood. This one is a white one. I do not know how much I have of this one. I think I have a few rolls of it. But it actually is just about the same width as the black one that I've had. And it's very similar in style. You can see the little edging is a little bit smaller on this one than on here.
Yeah,
but if you wanted a black and white, these ones are very complementary in size. And this one's firm as well. And so we can compare all the stretch in a moment. These two are also from Fredericks of Hollywood. As you can see, this side is not as pretty. It's a little bit rough on the side, so anything that you would want using this one, and the edge is also a little bit rough, but the back is plush. So if there's a way that you can kind of use this on a garment that you have this edge kind of covered, whether you're going to do kind of a stitch and fold over so you're using this, the plush side is plush, but the other side it's just a little bit more rigid. It may soften up in the wash, I'm not exactly sure. This one is actually much softer. So this one, even though it's not that pretty on the side, and it's a little bit stretchier, I think, than some of my other ones. It is very plush, and it's not as uncomfortable as this one. So you may begin to start hearing some wind or some rain. We've had some storms.
Yeah, it's wind.
These two are also, actually these three are Fredericks of Hollywood. I think I only have one roll of each of these, so this could be gone very soon. This one I might have about 2 rolls of.
I
So,
like the
what do you like?
the light blue.
The mint?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like mint a lot.
So this one, you can see the stretch on it. It's also very soft on the back side. The edge is not too bad. And then the red is very similar with the stretch. Same thing, plush on the back side. Okay. Now the mint green is a little bit softer, and it's also a little bit stretchier. So it may be a touch wider. Looks like it's wider by about 1 millimeter. I'm still considering these all 1/2 inch. But you can see this one's actually really, really soft. Like I said, it's a little bit thinner, but it's plush on the back side. Okay, so those are my band elastics. Now we have some decorative edge elastics. So these can be used like on panties or on the edges of bras. So you can see this is one that actually came from Fredericks, and it's the only one I've got. So I only have about 200 yards of this one. It's a pretty blue one, and the stretch is pretty good on it. These two I carry in stock as well as this one. These ones are just like my decorative edge. So they're plush, and they're kind of like little bubbles, kind of like it feels like little bubbles on it. But also they're really good for panties and other lingerie. This one here is, I'm calling it kind of a stretch lace. It's really like one of these, but it has a little kind of like a picot edge, but then it has some like see-through hollow stuff. See if I can get closer, you can see through. So this is what this one looks like, and it almost has the appearance of little hearts if you look at it closely. So this one I think I may call the heart edge, even though it's technically not really hearts. You want to look at that here? These ones over here, now I separated these ones. These are stretch, but this one is not very soft. So this would be one that you could use on some lingerie, but not use this on the edge of the fabric because it's just too rough to be against the skin. But you could really put this on any garment and treat it as a regular lace. The black one is very similar in style. It's a little bit narrower, but it's a whole lot softer. Now I cannot say that this would actually be good for the edging for any like any panties or bras or anything, because I don't know the stability of it, how long it would keep its shape. Of course, if you're going to use this, you could probably even take a thin piece of elastic underneath it if you want to help stabilize that edge. But this could be a good detail that you could stitch like somewhere on the garment with a stretch stitch, so it will move with the garment, but not necessarily something that's going to hold it up. These are all the same. Now, I've used these for lingerie on the edges of stuff, like I use these ones. These ones are old, like they are vintage. For everything else, I'm pretty confident with how the elastic is on it. The elastic looks good on these, but I'm not sure I would 100% depend on this for to hold the underwear together around the leg and the what do you call it, in the waistline. So you can use these ones decoratively. They may be perfectly fine. I mean, you can see right now they're fairly stretchy. I don't know how they'll handle in the wash, but there's these 3 colors, and then there's these 2 down here, which also came from Fredericks. These 2 are much better quality, I believe, in my opinion, than these 5 right here. So these ones here, this is also like a little stretch trim. This one I would say you could be comfortable. These 2 we can put in the category over here. So you could use these on the edge. So it's a nice red and a nice cream color. So I'll just set those over there. Where does that go? Okay, now in the middle, we have some of our stretch laces here. So this is a peach stretch lace, and this one, it's the only one, but it has actually some silicone strips on the back. I don't know if you can see that. So this can be used, you know, to help hold up stockings. You can put this on stockings. You can put this on underwear. You can
if
put it.
stuff keeps falling down on you, you can also.
Or if some stuff keeps rolling up on you, you could put this at the bottom of like a shirt or something that this might hug the skin a little bit to hold it down. So that's the only one I have with that silicone edging. I don't know how easy it would be to take it off. It doesn't look like it would be very easy at all. So, you know, you have that. These ones I have, this is actually the back side. I don't think this is the prettiest lace. As you can see, it has like flowers on it. It's more of an off-white. I think I only have like one roll of this one. This would probably be good to be dyed. I think it would look really pretty if it was dyed a different color. To me, this just looks like a dirty, even though it's not dirty. It just, as you can see against this from the white, it just has the appearance of that off-white that looks dirty. Okay, I'll set that aside. And here is my, it's a 1-inch stretch lace. This is also a really nice one that you can use on underwear and any of your lingerie items. This one is, this part might actually be a little bit dirty, but it is more of a white from what I looked. This was, I think, just the end that was cut. These two here are also stretches. So these ones can also be used on underwear and a few other lingerie items that are stretch. Now, I don't know if you've ever noticed, but on some elastics, you can see that there is kind of like a little line going through the middle. Well, I don't know if you're aware of this, but you can actually take and cut in between these and make 2 pieces of elastic with large scalloped edges. So that's one thing you can do with this one. You can't do that on these other ones. Some of my regular laces that don't stretch, you can do this also, but I just wanted to show that to you. This would also be one that would be good to be dyed. It does have some shine on it, but it's also an off-white. It's just a prettier off-white than this, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like this one
Yeah,
better.
I just like this one better than this one. Okay, then we have a black one. This one has kind of like a straight edge on one side, and it has a good little amount of stretch to it. So it's not too wide, I think about 3 inches, or this one and the other one. Okay, so those are the stretch laces. Now we've got my other stretch trims in here. These we have just kind of a little ruffle edge. So these could easily also be used kind of in the same category as some of the panty elastic around the edge. This one is organza, and it could be a little bit scratchy if it is touching the skin. This one, even though it is organza, it's super soft, so it's a different type of organza. So those are this other ones that have a nice stretch. They're soft. The elastic itself is soft.
I like the red.
This is soft, but this little bit in the middle, the little stripe, is a little scratchy.
I like the red better.
You like the red better? Yep, this is really soft.
And because of the color of the...
Yeah, and actually the red, even though this is not a Fredericks of Hollywood, you can see that it matches. So a lot of the things that I already had match the stuff that I just got. So here's just 2 of my fold-over elastics. These ones are ones that I specifically carry. They are 20 millimeters wide. So most fold-over elastics 5/8 of an inch. And as you can see, these are a little bit wider. So they're really nice. They're shiny, plush on the back. And whenever you're going to use fold-over elastic, the best thing to do is take and fold it and iron it closed before you start using it. So that's just a little trick there. But because this is also that 20 millimeter wide, so it's 5 millimeters wider than most of them, it makes it a little bit easier to stitch on because it is wider. And this can be dyed as well. Any of these are nylon, so they can all be dyed. You just have to be play around and test it.
The black won't...
Well, you can't dye the black because it's black.
Yeah, but white can easily...
Yeah, exactly.
be dyed, and I really like that.
And this is just a ribbon. This is a stretch ribbon that can be used on a garment somewhere. I do not suggest using this as a strap. This would be a little bit too loose, but you could even use this, let's say, on a waistband. If you wanted to have a really bright piece of pink on there.
Yeah.
As long as it's like on panties or something that you can use, that you need that stretch, but not on a waistband that you would use something like this on. And then I have these really wide fold-over elastics, and people are like, what would you use them for? Well, you can use it for like little shorts, so you can fold it over and hide the top in there for shorts. So I have this Orchid Purple, which does match all the other orchid stuff I have from Fredericks. This was not from Fredericks. And then the white and the black. Okay, so the stuff that we're really concerned with on the stretch are our band elastics. So I'm just going to scooch all this other stuff over to the side. None of that matters. We're going to come, grab 2 pins, and we're going to start, oops, I missed this one.
I don't know.
We're going to start with the red and the blue. Now I believe that the red and the blue are going to be the same. Hold on, honey. That's not sharp enough to penetrate it. Okay, hold on. Give it to me. I know you want to help, but I got to line it up. Okay, so in order to check the stretch, you put that right on the line, and you take this and we pull it. Now if you pull it all the way, it'll go to 70%. You're never going to wear something that tight. If you do, you will not be able to breathe. So never use something to the fullest extent of the stretch, or otherwise you'll be very, very uncomfortable. What you want to do is you want to kind of give it until it hits resistance. So I kind of do this until I hit like an average. I probably say it's about a 40
Or 50.
40 to 45% stretch normal. And that would be comfortable. So you can see it's bouncing around 40. So my red one's about 40%. I believe the blue one is pretty much the same. The green one will be a little bit stretchier, I believe. So we put that there. This one here, oops, I don't quite have that there. Yeah, this is about the same, so it's about bouncing around 40. Fullest extent, 80. This one might be about 45, so this one might be a little bit stretchier. But between 40 and 45.
The
And
highest is actually 83.
Oh, okay.
It's over 80.
So one of the reasons why we're checking the stretch is that when you're making your bra, you want to make sure that your elastic stretch is about the same as your fabric. Because if your elastic is a little bit tighter than your fabric is, it's actually going to cause your bra to fit tighter. So you really need to kind of take it all into account. But you can certainly use a tighter elastic. You're just going to have to make your band a little bit wider, a little bit longer, so it fits. Okay, so this is about, 45, 50, same. So even though it's a little bit softer, it's still about the same. So those are those. These ones here, like I said, that sometimes they feel a little bit firmer than they are. And I know I forgot to put get the stretch gauge up there. I will do that now so you guys can get a copy of this. So this is about the same, 40 to 45%. Fullest stretch is about 80%. You do not want to do that.
I
But
saw
40
it at 90.
Well, yes, if you pull it too hard. So about 45 to 50%, which seems like it's about average on most of these. Let's try this one out.
Now it looks like it's the same one.
Now this is the one that's a little bit rougher. So of the two, this one is like a little bit more yellow than this one. And so I think this one might be called the light tan. I can't remember. I went and renamed all of them, so I don't have the names in front of me. It's the one that's just a little bit more yellow on there. And you should be able to tell by the texture on the picture. Okay, so this one has like little loops on the edge, and this one's just rough on the edge. Okay, so this one is almost a little bit stretchier. So this one's about 50 to 60% stretchy, fully stretched about 90%. So this one has just a little bit more of an initial stretch to it. Now this is the one that I have that I carry regularly. So this is, oops, I guess I did that upside down. That's okay, as long as they're in the same point. Okay, so you can see this one's a lot firmer. Fullest stretch is about 50%. So this one on average is about 30%. So this is one that I usually have in my store. So this one would match the stretch of my power net. So you wouldn't have to adjust a pattern at all for that. If you're going to be using a much lighter weight power knit, you may need to make your band a little bit longer in order to use that elastic. But in general, a lot of power knits are about 50% stretch. And believe it or not, this one, even though it's a different manufacturer, is about the same stretch. So the matching ones for the black and the white and that 3/4 inch both seem to be about 30%. Okay, now this is that plush one I have.
Yeah, that's a little bit soft.
Yes, it is soft.
And black and white. Are the black and
Yep.
white from different
And so this one's a little
places?
bit stretchier. Nope, these are from the same place. This one's a little stretchier, so this one's about 35 to 40%. If you're using my power net, you shouldn't have to adjust anything for it just because it's a little bit stretchier. You may determine if you like a certain feel for your band and your fabric, you might end up having to take your band in slightly. Okay, so those were the same. This one, let's see.
That one is a big one.
It is a very big one. I only have
And
about
you can't even see
100
where
yards
it
of
is.
this stuff. So you can see this is pretty firm, again, but about 30 to 35% stretch.
40.
So.
I saw 40.
This one I think is a little bit stretchier. Well, yes, honey. What we do is we try and pull it and find the average. That's why I don't just pull it once. I kind of bounce it and see, okay, where does it start giving me some resistance? Because yes, I could pull it all the way here and it could go 100%. But you see, my knuckles are turning white when I do that. And we don't ever want to wear something that tight because you wouldn't be able to breathe because it's on your rib cage and on your diaphragm. So for this, yeah, I figured it was a little bit stretchier. So this is about a 40 to 50% stretch. So this would work with most bands, maybe about 45%. This would work with most power nets anyways. So that's what these are. These ones I believe are going to be a little bit stretchier.
After we're done with these, I have one right there.
You have one what right there?
The pink one. I wonder how much it is.
What do you mean the pink one?
The pink one is
The
close.
lace? I'm not going to stretch the lace. We're just going to check the elastics that are holding something together. So yeah, this one's a little bit stretchier, but still only about 40%. It's just soft, and it's overall, it's nice.
This one holds
We don't need to do that.
together.
Okay, so hopefully that
That's
helped you kind of understand a little bit more about,
Can I just?
can you go switch the camera for me? So hopefully that helped you understand a little bit more about the different elastics and where they're used. Okay, click on it and switch it to me. There we go. Okay, so again, the review is these are great for, right here, these ones here, the waistband, the real 35mm, these are good for sports bras, bralettes. These ones are good for bras. We have the Pico ones, which are good for the edges of bras and other lingerie. We have the stretches. So we have a wide variety of things. I hope you found this helpful, and again, thanks for watching. Bye.